Now that we've seen the preview of Genshin 5.2, we can talk about the 4-star character Ororon. He's a bow Electro user. Here's the banners coming with version 5.2. And here is Ororon's Ascension card. Ororon actually has a couple different mechanics, but let's start talking about his skill first. Ororon manifests an ancient mystical technique to summon a spirit orb and throws it at his foe. The orb deals Night Soul aligned electro damage. When other opponents are nearby, the spirit orb will bounce between them. Each time Night Sling is used, each opponent can only be selected as a target once. After 3 bounces, or if there's no eligible target left, the orb will disappear. Ororon is also the first character that has the ability Special Jump. So if this character's in Natlan, you can consume Phlogiston and execute a rocket double jump. And when your Phlogiston is completely depleted, you'll use stamina instead. This is a similar mechanic to one of the new creatures that is being introduced. Now his ultimate ability, Dark Voices Echo. Ororon works an ancient ritual, dealing Night Soul aligned area of effect damage and summoning forth a supersonic oculus. The supersonic oculus continuously will taunt nearby enemies and also rotate, firing off sonic waves that deal Night Soul aligned electro damage. Now let's move on to his passive abilities. The Art of Skinwalking increases gliding speed for you and party members by 15%. Night Realm's Gift. While in an area with Phlogiston mechanics within Natland, Ororon can use Night Soul Transmission. When the active character is in the air, the following will trigger when switching to Ororon. He'll do a mid-air jump. Night Soul Transmission can be triggered once every 10 seconds. Holding aiming mode while Ororon is in the air will cause him to enter Spirit Speaker state. This will allow him to interact with Night Spirit Graffiti and Night Spirit bodies, extracting information and power from them. Additionally, holding the jump button will cause Ororon to consume 75 stamina and leap. In areas within Natlan with the Phlogiston mechanics, Ororon will prioritize consuming 5 Phlogiston to leap even higher. When in the air, Ororon can hold his normal attack to consume Phlogiston or stamina and enter aiming mode. His next passive, after a nearby party member triggers Night Soul Burst, Ororon will gain 40 Night Soul points. Within 15 seconds after using his elemental skill, when attacks from other party members who are Hydro or Electro hit opponents, Ororon will gain 5 Night Soul points, an effect that can occur every 0.3 seconds for a maximum of 10 times during this 15-second duration. Ororon can have a maximum of 80 Night Soul points. Also, when nearby opponents take electro-charged reaction damage or Night Soul aligned damage dealt by other nearby party members, Ororon will consume 10 Night Soul points, entering the Night Soul Blessing state and triggering the Hypersense effect, wherein he will deal Night Soul aligned electro damage based on 160% of his attack to at most 4 nearby opponents. This can only trigger every 1.8 seconds. His next passive. After your elemental skill hits an opponent, Ororon will gain the Aspect Sigil for 15 seconds. And what the sigil will do is when a nearby active party member hits an opponent with normal charged or plunging attacks, that character will be restored 3 energy. If Ororon is off field, he will also restore 3 energy. This effect can trigger every 1 second and can trigger a total of 3 times per duration. Now moving on to his constellations. His C1, your elemental skill's Sling Spirit Orb can bounce 2 additional times. Additionally, after the Spirit Orb hits an opponent, it will apply the Night Tide effect to them for 12 seconds. Opponents affected by Night Tide take 50% increased damage from Hypersense triggered by your passive talent. His C2, after using his elemental burst, Ororon will obtain the Spiritual Supersense effect for 9 seconds. Supersense will have you gain 8% electro damage bonus, and during this time, every additional opponent hit by the elemental burst will grant Ororon a further 8% electro damage bonus. The maximum bonus you can gain in this way is 32%. His C3 will increase his ult by 3 levels, and his C4, the supersonic oculus summoned by the elemental burst, rotates 25% faster. Additionally, Ororon will restore 8 energy to himself after using your ult. C5 increases his skill by 3 levels, and his C6, after triggering Hypersense through your passive talent, your current active character's attack is increased by 10% for 9 seconds. It has a maximum stack of 3, and each stack is counted independently. Additionally, when you use your elemental burst, you will trigger 1 instance of an effect equivalent to Hypersense, dealing 200% of its original damage.